Welcome back to our channel, my dear night owls. Madison is still undecided about who to be angrier at, the woman who filed the lawsuit, her mother, or the hospital. Madison is still wondering who's trying to harm her. Guess who it is? Let's get started. Okay, I've been thinking about this and I just can't get out of Madison's whole situation. You know that scene. Madison finally cornered the woman who smeared her clinic. False accusations, a lawsuit, the risk of ruining everything she'd worked so hard to build. I was totally expecting it to be some random disgruntled former patient, or maybe a hired corporate spy. But then, wait, let me get back to the point. Actually, no, I should address the context first. The clinic isn't just a job for Madison, it's her life's work. She poured blood, sweat, and real tears into building this foundation. So when this lawsuit came crashing down, it wasn't just a legal threat, it was a life or death threat. Okay, back to the confrontation. She kicks down the door, figuratively speaking, and demands answers. She wants to know why these completely fabricated, baseless accusations are being leveled against her. And then the camera pans, the lighting changes, and we see the face of the accuser. It's her mother, her own mother, her biological mother. What? I actually had to pause the screen. I mean, what kind of dark, twisted psychological thriller are we suddenly watching? I know soap operas love family betrayals, but this is on another level. Madison's anger in that moment was palpable. You could see her trying to maintain a professional composure while the child inside her was basically screaming. She wasn't just asking why, she demanded to know the real motive. Let's talk about the mother for a second. Why would she do this? I mean, we've seen strained mother-daughter relationships on this show before. Remember when? Actually, I can't even remember the exact episode number. Maybe somewhere in the mid-season a few years ago with a totally different family. But the point is, parents selling out their kids is a trope. But this feels different. Madison's anger in that moment was palpable. You could see her trying to maintain her professional composure while her inner child was basically screaming. She doesn't just ask why, she demands the real motive. Because a mother doesn't just wake up one Tuesday and decide, hey, I think I will file a fraudulent malpractice or negligence lawsuit against my daughter's life work. There has to be a catalyst. And the escalation in that room, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a scalpel. Madison is pushing. She knows her mother, she knows her tells. She knows when she is lying. And she finally breaks her. And then comes the confession. The mother cracks. She just crumbles and blurts out the truth. And the truth is a name, Laya. Laya forced her. Laya promised her a massive, life-changing sum of money in exchange for her false testimony. Okay, wait a minute. Let me say that again. Laya paid Madison's mother to destroy Madison. My brain is literally short-circuiting trying to process the sheer audacity of this. Laya, we all knew Laya was manipulative. We've seen her pull strings from the shadows, orchestrating little inconveniences or business hurdles. But this isn't just business. This is deeply, profoundly personal. To find your enemy's mother, figure out her financial vulnerabilities, and exploit them to the point where she is willing to perjure herself and ruin her own flesh and blood. That takes a special kind of sociopathy. Strange, really strange. The whole thing is strange. Why go to such extreme lengths? What is the ultimate end game here? I mean, not exactly, but something like that. I'm losing my train of thought. What am I saying? Oh, right, the manipulation. Madison's reaction to this revelation is what really kept me up tonight. You can see the exact moment the floor drops out from under her. It is a dual betrayal. First, the mother she trusted, or at least, the mother she thought had a basic baseline of maternal loyalty, has sold her out for cash. Second, the realization that Laya is a puppet master of the highest order. Madison is stunned, utterly, completely blindsided. She thought she was fighting a legal battle, a professional dispute. She didn't realize she was a pawn in Laya's psychological warfare. It is like playing checkers and suddenly realizing your opponent is playing 3D chess with your family members as the pieces. Madison realizes in that split second that nothing is simple. The lawsuit isn't about the clinic's practices. It is a targeted, deliberate assassination of her character, her career, and her sanity. Laya is intentionally trying to ruin her, but why? Is it jealousy? Is it some deep-seated vendetta that we don't fully understand yet? Maybe it's not important, but I noticed a few episodes back that Laya was looking at Madison with this weird, calculating glare during that charity gala. I thought it was just standard soap opera glaring, but now I think she was plotting this exact moment. So Madison is standing there, processing this massive trauma, because it is trauma, let's be real. Your mother taking a bribe to ruin your life is traumatic, but Madison doesn't just collapse. Well, she might internally, but externally, you see the shift. The shock morphs into this cold, hard determination. The realization that Laya is ruthlessly manipulating everything flips a switch in Madison. She is now on high alert. The blinders are off. She knows exactly who the enemy is, and more importantly, she knows the depths to which that enemy will sink. But this is where I get stuck. This is what's been bothering me for hours. What does Madison do next? The notes, the spoilers, whatever you want to call them, they leave it open. Will she confront Laya? Will she stay silent and plan her revenge? Will she dig deeper into the conspiracy? I've been running through these scenarios, and every single one has massive flaws. Let's look at the first option. Madison storms into Laya's office, slams her hands on the desk, and screams, "I know what you did." It is satisfying, right? It is the classic dramatic confrontation. We would get some great acting, some fiery dialogue, but that doesn't explain why Laya would be afraid of that. If Madison confronts her right now, what proof does she have? Just the word of a mother who has already proven she can be bought. Laya would just laugh in her face. She would probably spin it around and say Madison is hysterical. The stress of the lawsuit is getting to her. Laya would gaslight her into oblivion. So, confronting her immediately is a terrible idea. It plays right into Laya's hands. Laya wants Madison to be erratic and emotional. If Madison loses her cool, she proves the fake lawsuit's point that she is unstable. Actually, no. Wait, maybe Madison could record the confrontation. No, Laya is too smart to confess on tape. She would speak in riddles. So a direct confrontation is a dead end. Or maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes the direct approach catches a narcissist off guard. But I really doubt it here. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but listen to me. What if Madison plays the silent game? What if she pretends she doesn't know? This requires a level of emotional control that I am not sure Madison has right now, especially after being betrayed by her mother. Imagine having to look Laya in the eye, maybe even interact with her in public, and pretend you don't know she paid your own mother to destroy you. That is agonizing. But strategically, it is the smartest move. If Laya thinks her plan is working, she might get sloppy. She might make a mistake. Madison could use this time to quietly hire a private investigator, track the money. Follow the money. That is always the key, right? Laya had to transfer that large sum somehow. Was it offshore? Was it a shell company? Madison needs to become a financial forensic expert overnight. She needs to gather ironclad, undeniable proof before she strikes. But wait, what if the mother warns Laya? What if the mother calls Laya and says, Madison knows? Then the silent plan is ruined. Madison would have to convince her mother to become a double agent. Can you trust a double agent who just sold you out? Absolutely not. My head hurts just thinking about the logistics of this. And let's talk about the legal aspect, the lawsuit itself. Even if Madison finds out the truth, How does she prove it in court? The legal system doesn't just run on aha moments. She needs admissible evidence. If her mother recants her testimony and says, "Laya paid me," the opposing counsel will just say the mother is an unreliable witness who changes her story whenever it suits her. They will tear the mother apart on the stand, and Madison's clinic will still be in jeopardy. The damage to the clinic's reputation is already done. Even if the lawsuit is dropped tomorrow, the headlines have already been printed. Local clinic sued for malpractice. Patients don't always read the follow-up article that says lawsuit dropped. They just remember the initial scandal. Laya knows this. Laya knows that even if she loses the battle, she wins the war of public opinion. This is what makes Madison's situation so incredibly desperate. She isn't just fighting for her license. She is fighting for her name, her legacy, her entire identity. I keep coming back to that moment of realization. The absolute stunning, paralyzing shock. Imagine the physical sensation of that. Your heart drops into your stomach, your ears start ringing. You look at the woman who gave birth to you, and you realize you don't know her at all. And then you look past her, to the invisible strings attached to her limbs, and you see Laya smiling in the shadows. It is horrifying. Madison's world has been completely inverted. Up is down, left is right, mothers are enemies, and rivals are puppet masters. How do you sleep after a revelation like that? You don't. You stay up late, like I am doing right now, overanalyzing every single interaction you have ever had. Did Laya plan this months ago, years ago? Was that time they bumped into each other at the coffee shop a coincidence? Or was Laya studying her? It makes you question reality itself. Okay, wait a minute. Let me say that again, because I think I just stumbled onto something. What if Laya's goal isn't just to ruin the clinic? What if the clinic is just collateral damage? What if the real goal is to isolate Madison? Think about it. By using Madison's mother, Laya has effectively destroyed Madison's familial support system. If Madison becomes paranoid and starts doubting her friends, she loses her social support system. If the clinic goes under, she loses her professional support system. Laya is systematically stripping away every pillar of Madison's life until she is completely alone and vulnerable. Why? To rebuild her, to control her, to force her to leave town. I mean, not exactly, but something like that. It is a classic abuser tactic, applied on a grand, corporate, soap opera scale. Isolate the victim, make them dependent, break their spirit. If this is true, then Madison is in far more danger than just losing her medical license. She is in danger of losing her mind. Anyway, the main point is, wait, what was the main point? Oh, right, the choices, confrontation, silence, or investigation. Honestly, it is probably going to be a messy combination of all three. She will try to investigate. She will fail to keep entirely silent because her anger will leak out, and it will eventually culminate in a massive, explosive confrontation. But the journey there is going to be agonizing to watch. I am dreading it, and I am completely obsessed with it at the same time. I need to go to bed. My brain is fried. But I know I am just going to lie there thinking about Madison's mother counting that bribe money. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Alright, that is it for my late night rambling. Let me know what you guys think, if you can even make sense of my disjointed thoughts. Until next time, keep your friends close, and your mothers, well, maybe check their bank accounts.